Hello and welcome to Starting Points, where one thing leads to another. I want to give a personal example of how that worked for me in terms of something that I read in Martin Garner's book about mathematical puzzles and diversions, about pentominoes and pentomino rectangles and puzzles, and how he'd heard about that from Solomon Golub. And this fascinating book, which includes a set of pentominoes in the back and has all kinds of puzzles and related topics, and how Martin Garner comes back to it. One thing leads to another, comes back to writing about it later on in Scientific American, and how somebody by the name of Henri Pachotto decides that this is something that would be beneficial in terms of visual manipulating and thinking, and might be of interest to teachers. And so he comes up with a series of puzzles running from number 3 to number 84. And I come across in a teacher's store in Victoria with a plastic bag with the dozen pentomino pieces in it. And I say, So I order from them 30 bags of the puzzles, and I order from Henri Pachotto Creative Publications and get their book. Now, Henri has a couple of things right on the back of the first cover that I found interesting. Acknowledgments. The author would like to thank Sally and Neil Pachotto for finding the solutions to several of the puzzles in this book. So that led for his family playing and working on it, and him giving them recognition for what they came up with. Limited reproduction permission. The publisher hereby grants permission to the teacher who purchases this book, or the teacher for whom the book is purchased, to reproduce any part of this book for use with his or her students. Any further duplication is prohibited. And he gives a little brief history, mentioning when the first example of polynomials was with a pentomino puzzle was 1906. And then Solomon's book in 1953, and Martin Garner in his mathematical games column in Scientific American. The best known pentomino puzzle is to cover a 6 by 10 rectangle with all the pentominoes. Most people have trouble finding even one solution, but a computer found 2,339 of them. And first of all, that figure boggles my mind, but it does reinforce the feeling that I've had for now maybe 20 years, that there are lots of puzzles with multiple answers. Maybe not 2,339 of them, but and so Now, Martin Garner mentioned this puzzle in his very first book, and gives this solution. The puzzle was to take the pentomino pieces and put them into a rectangle that would leave and include the puzzle. In the puzzle, here's the Z, that would have a space left for the Z. So that makes me think of, I better just run a little something else by you here. Pentominoes grow out of a concept. One solution if you only had one square. Two solutions with, if you had two squares, there's still only one solution. It's this domino shape. And no matter how you turn it, there's only one unique shape. With three, you get two. You get three in a row, but you can get this shape. With four, there's five. So you start to feel, at least I did, the Hanoi Tower thing. Starts off easily, or and soon builds quite rapidly. Well, let's see what happens with the five. Here are the five. And the five can be spoken of in terms of letters. This is the I, this is the L, this is the P, the T, the U, V, W, X, Y, the Y, and the Z. So there's really 12 puzzles. This is one of the 12 with the Z. And now to find the others and to make a drawing of them is my next project. And maybe at some point down the road I'll be able to share that with you. I don't know. One of the reasons I say I don't know is because I don't think it's my age, but I think it's some things in math go over me head. This I think I could play with if I had time to play with these. Now I remember my grandpa sitting in a chair and working with plays, these jumping pegs, and trying to end up with only one peg left in it, that sort of thing. And maybe that will be where I will be before you know it. This is Martin Garner's attempt to make relativity for the million, meaning the millions, understandable. And I thought, great, the universe, relativity, and I start reading, and sure enough, he's making it sound. He's got an interesting joke. He's got some interesting examples, and right away I'm sort of thinking, well, oh, this. But then it starts to get a little harder for me to understand. So it goes over my head. This, I think, appeals to a youthful me. Mathematics, the man-made universe. there was one section in there on prime numbers that I could sort of follow a little. The Attractive Universe, Gravity and the Shape of Space by E.G. Valens. And again, and lastly, The Power of 10, about the relative size of things in the universe. So all these books dealing with understanding the relative size of the universe and space and things, and of course they give for further reading, and I show them to you in case you're looking for something further. So thank you for joining me and bearing with me. I wanted to share one other thing with you. This concept of going out into outer space by powers of 10 and then going to smaller than powers of 10 appealed to some animators that worked for the National Film Board, and they produced a film called Cosmic Zoom, and I remember seeing it, 50 years ago, and showing it to a class, 16 millimeter camera, the big reels going around. It wasn't big reels because it wasn't a long film. And I thought, whoa, boys, that was a neat idea, and the way they did it, it was lovely. Well, the National Film Board has shrunk and shrunk over the years, and now all their films, instead of them handling it, are available to viewers on YouTube. And I looked up to see if that Zoom film was there, and it was Cosmic Zoom. Well, anyway, for what it's worth, again, thanks for joining me. Bye for now.